The show begins with John bidding farewell to his family. We find out that his father has been promoted at work, so they are moving away, leaving him alone at home. His mother, like all mothers, advises him to take out the trash, not to leave the lights on, to eat well, and not to make a mess of the house. Then John pretends to be sad because he is being left alone at home, and he tells them to hurry up so they don't miss their flight. He even walks them to the car and waves goodbye as they drive away. As soon as they leave, he starts playing and celebrating as if his family were holding him back. He comes back into the house and begins to eat and drink, throwing his clothes all over the floor until the house looks like a trash heap. It would have been fine if he had stopped there, but he also declares that the house is really clean. Then he calls his friends to come over and keep him company. One by one, they arrive until there are 5 of them, and they start playing PlayStation and poker, watching TV while eating and drinking, as if the house belonged to their father. John, still pretending to be innocent, says, "Since I'm the man of the house, I'm eating the chicken." And his friends agree, though they are surprised. As they eat, John tells them that he found out from his mother that his friend's son has come from America and has no place to stay, so he will have to stay with them until he finds a place. His friends are shocked because there is no spare room, and they ask where he will stay. John, being democratic, says, "It's not my problem. Since I own the house, I get the only room," which leads to a fight because everyone wants their own room. John then says, "Stop it. Isn't it enough that I don't charge you rent, you hooligans?" Then their friend Yong comes out of the room and asks what all the fuss is about, telling them to keep their voices down so he can sleep. But the fight continues with them pulling each other's hair until, unexpectedly, the doorbell rings. They think it's the new guy who is supposed to move in, but when they open the door, they find a neighbor asking if someone is lost. They close the door on him and return to the house, forgetting what they were fighting about. John says, "Now that we're full, let's eat again." He must mean these are real friends, and they start talking about the guy who is supposed to come. John says his mother told him his name is Alex, and he's Korean but born and raised in America. They agree that he should share a room with someone who has a similar personality, but only John has his number. When they check his WhatsApp, they see pictures of a cat and are very disappointed, but then they see many photos of him with girls, and John says, "No problem, he can stay with me." But his friend says, "My room is bigger, so he should stay with me." Suddenly the doorbell rings again, and one of them goes to open it, only to find a beautiful girl who says, "Hi, I'm Alex." He is shocked and slams the door. The girl is surprised by his behavior and rings the bell again. This time, John and all his friends open the door, and they see the girl with her suitcase entering the house. They are all confused and don't understand what's happening. The girl introduces herself as Alex, saying she is going to stay with them. John suddenly remembers the conversation with his mother when she had told him, after he woke up, that her friend's daughter from America was coming to stay, and she had asked him to clean the house until she found another place. Alex laughs at the misunderstanding, saying he thought it was a boy, but it turned out to be a girl. She introduces herself again as Korean and says she will be staying with them. John is shocked and introduces himself and his friends, telling her that they are 5 boys and it's not appropriate for her to stay with them, as this is not New York. But Alex says it's okay, and she is happy to be staying with 5 boys her age, thinking they will get along well. But John refuses and says that you have to leave the house. However, Alex responds, saying, "Your mother stole from me, so it's okay for you to stay in the house." Then John insists, saying, "I am the man of the house, and my word is final." After that, he confidently calls his mother, but when he returns, he is anxious, saying, "Mom told me that if Alex stays in the house, all of your friends must leave." Then the friends decide to flip a coin to see if she should stay or if they should leave. They then have a meeting, during which Alex listens to music until they finish. However, his friends are uncomfortable and unable to make a decision, so they agree to postpone it until the next day. Later, Alex asks about her room, and they all look at each other, knowing that one person must give up their room for her. In the end, John is forced to give up his room, and he sleeps in the same room as his friend, angry about what happened. Later that night, Alex asks John for toothpaste, and John replies, "I'll buy it for you." But Alex responds, I'm not a child. I can buy it myself. Then she leaves, and when she returns late, John becomes worried and checks if she has left the house. He then sees Alex walking home, followed by a neighbor. She hears the sound of a cat and goes to check on it but doesn't see anything. When she turns around, she bumps into someone, and she is very scared. The person turns out to be John, who apologizes for scaring her. They then return to the house, and she goes to her room to sleep. The next morning, Alex wakes up early and prepares breakfast. She then calls everyone to eat, and when John and his friends wake up, they are surprised by what she has done. They eat the food happily and agree to let her stay in the house. Later, John starts moving his belongings out of his room, and Alex begins organizing her things and making the bed. John is surprised by the shoes she has. That night, they have dinner together, talking about their experiences. Alex asks them what they have studied, and each of them shares what they have learned. One studied cinema, another arts. Alex seems very happy with their friendship and shares that she is studying mechanical engineering. John and his friends are surprised because it's a difficult major for girls, but one of them, named Yong, who also studies the same major, gets upset and leaves. We then see Alex adapting to Korean food, especially with spicy pepper. She later leaves to get some water but accidentally drinks ginger juice from a bottle, causing her to spit it on Yong's face. John laughs and Alex tries to apologize, saying that she brushed her teeth, but Yong doesn't respond and instead gives her water to drink. The next morning, when Alex wakes up, she finds the house in a mess. John is asleep on the couch, food is spilled on the floor, the bathroom is dirty, the whole house smells, and the laundry is full of dirty clothes. She feels nauseous. That night, she tries to sleep in her room, but the noise from the others disturbs her. When she comes out, she sees them playing PlayStation and says, "It's a crime to make noise at this hour, it's not good." But John replies, "It's only 3 a.m. The night hasn't even started." Yong then gets up and unplugs the power strip, saying, "I want to sleep. I have a lecture tomorrow morning." He then tells Alex, "You can't live with these people." At that moment, Alex feels she is struggling. The next day, she writes a letter of rules and wakes them up, asking them to follow the rules. However, they are still groggy and ask, "Why are you waking us up so early? It's only 7 a.m., Lee." After reading the rules, they see that she wants them to keep the house clean at all times, prohibits them from sleeping in the middle of the day, and forbids them from making noise at night. However, they refuse and hold a vote to decide whether to follow the rules or not. Then everyone returns to their rooms to sleep. But Alex feels words, and they exchange glances as the atmosphere turns romantic. John, seeing them like this, assumes there is a relationship between them and hides to avoid being seen. The next day, Alex is still in shock and can't stop thinking about what happened the previous night. She is also surprised that Yong is on her mind all day. John comes and sits next to her, turning on the TV, where they see a romantic scene in a movie. He tells her, "There's nothing wrong with love," but Alex becomes anxious, thinking he is talking about her, and leaves. John is confused by her sudden change in behavior. Alex tries to avoid Yong whenever possible, but every time she sees him, she gets flustered and quickly retreats to her room, feeling embarrassed. On the other hand, Yong is also constantly thinking about Alex. When John sits next to him, he starts talking to himself, which even surprises John. Alex, feeling down, doesn't talk much until one of her friends comes over and asks her to play PlayStation with him. Her mood instantly improves, and she happily plays the game. Yong sees them playing and feels jealous. After they finish, Park asks her to help him choose a gift for the girl he likes. Alex begins to think to herself, and at that moment, she notices one of her friends, thinking that the gift he's brought is for her because he loves her. She goes out and tells all her friends about it, but Alex assures them that there is nothing between them. She then takes Park aside to talk, and he shows her a necklace that he bought for the girl he loves. Alex tells him that she doesn't love him, but he explains that he loves a girl from the university, not her. He also tells her that he knows she loves Yong, and then he leaves. Alex is shocked by his words and loudly denies that she loves Yong, just as Yong overhears, but he doesn't say anything. He tells her to come inside and not to stand outside alone. Alex feels embarrassed and tries to explain herself, but he goes inside and leaves her. The next morning, when Alex wakes up, she finds a necklace on the nightstand along with a small note, but the note falls without her noticing. She then recalls Park saying he would bring the necklace as a thank you gift. When she steps out, she sees Park looking tense, and he tells her that he's on his way to give the gift to the girl he loves and to confess his feelings. Then he leaves. Alex asks the others to help clean the house. At first, they refuse, but eventually she convinces everyone to clean their rooms. Alex is in the kitchen trying to put some things on a shelf but can't reach it. Yang comes over to help, but Alex insists she can reach it because she's tall. She tries again but still can't reach, and Yang laughs at how she's acting. He then helps her clean up. Later, Alex goes to her room to tidy up, and she finds the necklace and tries to put it on. Yang helps her fasten the necklace, but as he does, he sees it and gets jealous. He tries to create some distance between them by pretending to clean the house. While cleaning, he accidentally places the note under the bed without noticing. After they finish cleaning, they sit in the living room, tired. Alex says she wishes she could go on a date like Park. One of their friends gets a call, and he answers it nervously. He finds out that he won the arts competition he applied for, and he rushes out to share the good news with his friends. But then Park arrives, looking upset, and tells them that he was rejected. This dampens the mood, and they all drink together to forget what happened. Park laments that after he finally worked up the courage to confess his love, another guy had already done it before him, beating him to it. He yells that he waited for the right time but was too late. His friends advise him to tell the person he loves before it's too late, and not to make the same mistake he did. Park goes outside, angry, and Yang follows him to comfort him. His friend tells him to confess his love to Alex, but Yang feels anxious and lies, saying that he doesn't love Alex. Alex overhears this and is hurt by his words. They return home, and they start playing a truth or dare game. When it's Yang's turn, he's asked if he loves someone, but he avoids answering and chooses to drink instead. The next morning, Yoon and Yang are in the kitchen, and Park wakes up and starts drinking. They pass by him without talking, and he asks what's wrong, thinking that he smells bad. June asks if he remembers what he did last night, but Park says he doesn't. We then learn that during the game last night, the question landed on him, but no one would let him ask a question, so he got angry and started playing. Suddenly, his leg gives out and he falls onto his friends, causing Alex to drop a hot pot that burns her hand. We see that her hand is now bandaged, and Park approaches her to apologize, saying he didn't mean it. At the same time, we see Yang worrying about Alex and wanting to give her medicine, but he finds her sitting in the living room. Alex then arrives and sees the medicine, realizing that Yang brought it because he saw her injury last night. She thanks him, and he sits next to her to understand her condition. She thanks him for taking care of her. Yoon then asks if they can go out to change the environment, and Alex agrees. They leave the house together. Yang feels jealous and stays at home, upset. His friend notices his mood and asks what happened, but Yang doesn't respond and goes to his room. Yoon asks where the necklace came from, and Alex tells him that Park brought it because he helped with the gift. However, it was ultimately rejected. Yoon asks who she loves, but Alex feels shy and doesn't know what to say. Yoon says he noticed during the game that Alex loves Yang. Alex asks him not to tell anyone. They both leave and see a neighbor on the street wearing a similar necklace. When they return home, Park asks where the necklace came from, and Park says he found it at the door and thought his friend brought it and left it in his room. They all question who brought the necklace, and everyone denies bringing it. Park says there was a note with it, and they start searching the room. Yang finds the note, and it turns out the neighbor brought it, and the necklace is the same. They are surprised by this behavior and decide to ask him about the gift and why he gave it. They all go to his house because they have often seen him close to Alex. However, one of them is afraid he might be a dangerous person and suggests informing the police, but his friends advise against it, saying it's unnecessary. When they enter, they find that he is a kind person with a dog. He explains that the dog was missing and the necklace was made by him. It was meant to be a gift, and he asked because of the confusion. He apologizes for the misunderstanding, and they agree to be friends. but they are surprised to learn he is 38 years old. June apologizes for the misunderstanding. When Alex returns to her room, she searches for the necklace to keep as a memory. During this time, she gets a call from America, informing her that she has been accepted into the training program. Alex is happy but surprised to learn she needs to be in America within a week. Yang comes to accompany her to the neighbor's house so she won't be alone. When they arrive, they find June has brought 5 different types of ice cream. Alex says she will buy some when they return to the neighbor's house. Yang agrees. When the neighbor sees them together, he gives them 2 rings, thinking they are in love. Alex is surprised and says there is no relationship between them, but she thanks him and accepts the gift. They go to the supermarket to buy ice cream. On the way back home, Alex says that initially, she thought Yang was arrogant because he spoke so little, but later she realized he was a good and kind person. Yang is pleased by her words. Finally, he asks if they can go out for dessert the next day, but Alex thinks he means a date and suggests their friends join. Yang insists it will just be the 2 of them, and she is happy. When she goes to her room, she remembers that if she misses the training program, someone else will be chosen. She is upset about leaving. Yang spends the whole day thinking about Alex and is happy that he asked her out. The next day, Alex prepares for her departure. She applies makeup, changes her hairstyle, and wears new clothes to look her best. Yang waits for her, dressed up as well. They go to a place where they can buy all sorts of sweets, and Alex is happy and laughs at Yang's shyness as he avoids making eye contact. They go to the supermarket and Yang buys a lot of chocolate. Alex is very happy to be with him. They then go to a park and enjoy the treats. Yang accidentally touches her hand, which makes him feel shy. He encourages himself, wanting to confess his feelings, but Alex tells him she has to go to America for the training. Yang is surprised and angry, and he says congratulations while pretending to be calm. Then he stands up and leaves. Alex returns home, upset, and looks at the ring. She talks to June and asks if he has ever had a long-distance relationship. June says yes, but it didn't work out. Alex then gathers her friends and tells them she is going back to America. They are all upset because they have become close to her, and they decide to throw her a farewell party. They drink together that night and tell her not to leave. Yang says it is her future, and she should go. They eat cake and reminisce about the first day they met until she became part of their group. They take many photos as memories. The next day, Alex prepares her bag. Yang offers to take her to the airport, but Alex refuses, saying she doesn't want to tire him. Yoon advises her to express her feelings to Yang because he is shy. Alex writes him a note saying she loves him. Yang is at the door of his room, wanting to confess his feelings and say goodbye, but he changes his mind. Alex goes to Yang's room and gives him chocolate. When he opens it, he sees the note saying, "I love you," which makes him very happy. Alex then boards the plane to America. Her friends bid her a sad farewell. Finally, Yang arrives and knocks on the car window, handing her a chocolate with a note saying, "I love you too." Alex is extremely happy, but also sad to leave. When she returns from America after the training, Yang greets her at the door with a ring. She is happy to see him and says she won't leave. Her friends see this from a distance and welcome her back, happy to have her as part of their group.